Good morning. Welcome. We're so happy to see your bright and shiny faces, the sunshine inside and the sun shining outside. Isn't it a beautiful day in our neighborhood today? Yes, and it's contagious. I heard Reverend Yvonne say that joy, that love, that essence is contagious. We get to share it with everyone that we meet. I'm so glad you came and joined us this morning. I know you're going to have a wonderful experience here, a beautiful talk, some wonderful music. And I want to invite you, if you have anything heavy on your heart or anything you'd like to celebrate, that you fill out a prayer request form on the back table and put it in the prayer box, and Reverend Yvonne and I will pray with you and for you all week. Also, if you are not on our mailing list, there are forms on the back table that you can fill out, and we will include you when we send out our mailings. If you're new to our center, on the table in the foyer, there are some welcome packets that tell you a little bit more about us and what we do and what we believe here. So be sure to help yourself to one of those as well. I believe we now have some wonderful special music.
Come in thy holy
Thank you for that beautiful music. I believe that most of us here know that that's Aisha's original music, and who knew the talent that we have up here? Yeah, it's all of them, but yeah. Thank you. So it's that time where we get to bless our children. We get to bless the children of the world and the child within each one of us. So I'd like to ask you now to join me in this blessing of the children. We see you, who you really are, made in the image and likeness of God. We cherish you, we support you, and we love you. And so in that space of love and cherishing and supporting, we move now into our prayer, knowing there is only one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. That life is health and wholeness. That life is peace and joy and abundance. That life is all there is. There is absolutely nothing outside of God. It is in its essence that we live and breathe and have our being, breathing in God, exhaling God. There is only God. We are one with it. One with the one with life and love and peace and joy and abundance. One with health and wholeness. So as I speak my word this day, I know that each of us is filled with the powerful presence of Spirit as we move through our week. I know that each person that we meet, we see the God within. I know that all of our activities are surrounded and supported and blessed by the one. I acknowledge that powerful presence of Spirit in all of our activities, and I'm grateful. I am grateful for the light and the love and the peace and the joy that fills each one of us, spills over, and affects all of those around us. I give great thanks as I release this word now to the perfect working of the perfect law, which always, and only says yes. Please join me in affirming, and so it is. Amen.
Great thanks to our musicians, each one of you. You're fabulous. We love you. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, doesn't that just bring you into that space, that beautiful music, bring you into that space of just, we can take a breath and we can relax right where we are, because that's where God is. We can relax right here, right now, and just allow the breath of God to move into us, supporting us, through us, for us. Thank you so much. Beautiful music. Thank you so much for being here. And Reverend Linda, thank you for that prayer for our children and for everyone, because we know that we all stand under the shelter of each other. We stand under the shelter of each other. And I want to read a couple of lines from 2,000 Kisses a Day by L.R. Nost. She said, "It is not our job to toughen up our children to face a cruel and heartless world. It's our job to raise children who will make the world a less cruel and heartless place to live." I love the idea of supporting our children. That's why we say that our children's prayer every single week. That's why we honor all the children of the world, including the older children, us. We honor them, and we know that as we support each other, we create this energy of givingness, of empathy, of inclusion, of forgiveness. We just create this energy that allows others to move freely. Therefore, we are moving freely in our world as we embrace the idea, one life, that life is God, that life of God is us. And so as we breathe into that and bless our children, and as Reverend Linda said, bless ourselves. We're all the children of the living God. We're all its creation in all our magnificent forms, no matter what we look like, how we're built, how old we are, or how young we are all that expression of God, individualized. So I love that, her writing about, let's not toughen them up. Let us raise them up, that they will create a world that is less cruel and heartless. Otherwise, create a world of grace and glory and holiness and kindness and compassion. That's what we want our children to experience and create for others. So this week, I'm going to talk about pause and find the cause. Pause and find the cause. We are looking at a world that is in flux and change, and I've heard people say, "Oh, I just can't wait for it to go back to the way it is." When does anything ever go back to the way it is? We might recreate the way it was again and again and again, but we don't ever go back to the way it was. We just keep recreating, and sometimes we just keep recreating in our lives things we don't want because that's the way it was and that's what we're familiar with. And also, what holds that in place is the idea that that's the only way it can be. So today I want to talk about taking that pause and find the cause. Because the study of the science of mind is to try, what we do in the science of mind is try to, we use the tools to uncover the hidden beliefs so that we can consciously choose to change that belief, consciously choose to change the belief that we can have a different cause, which will create a different effect. So that's what we do in the science of mind. We want to bring forth our own power into the livingness of day-to-day living that we experience so that we can. But we have to recognize what our beliefs are, first of all. We have to recognize that this just didn't happen to us, that I'm a victim in life. This didn't just happen to me. I might have been victimized, but if I continue on being a victim to circumstances and to people and to times, it's because I have embodied or embraced the idea that I am a victim. And I know that you know people who have very difficult circumstances that do not consider themselves victims. There are also people out there who have the best of circumstances who consider themselves victims. So you see, it is within us that we determine what we are expressing to the world. Or as I said last week, if we don't have our own identity, if we don't come to a place of enriching the identity that we are claiming as ourselves, the world will give us an identity. And we'll just pick it right up. Just like children will pick up things that are given to them that may not be the best idea for a belief for them to carry into their lifetime, but it was given to them. And until they know better, until they have the choice and have this and are in the circumstances where they can make that choice for themselves, they will carry that with them. But we're evolving. We are part of the humanity, and humanity is evolving. Regardless of what it looks like out there, we can talk about how hard it is and how bad it is and how much chaos is going on, and it's all true. It's true. There's a lot of chaos going on out here. There's a lot of things that we would like, and we would all choose individually what we would like to see changed. But let us not focus only on what we don't like. Let us focus on what we would like the change to look like, to be, what it would feel like. And then we get to look at what is our part in that change. What is it? Do we all have to do the same thing to make that change take place? No, we have to recognize what resonates within us. We have to be true to ourselves. But in order to be true to ourselves, we have to know who we are. And the only way we know, I believe, to know who we are is to question the things that don't fit for us. Ask yourself those questions. What is it I truly believe about this? Am I willing to know more about it? Where can I find that information? Not information that will, I used to look for information that would absolutely support the belief I had. Now I look for things that will expand not only what I believe, but what I could know. You know, that's what we're here to do, and that's what we do with each other. Our relationships are really a spiritual journey we're on. They are spiritual. It's like spiritual school we're going through as we have these relationships with each other as well as ourselves. Because they'll grow us, they'll strengthen us, they'll challenge us. But remember that we have what we're looking for out there. And as a human being, we're looking for love and acceptance, aren't we? We're looking to be needed. And we have that within us, and as we assure ourselves that we are what we're looking for, and we can become more by being open to that which is around us, this school, this earth school is, it's of the highest caliber for our learning, for our growth, and for our healing. I feel like I just about covered it all. I got pretty excited there. But what we're talking about here really is cause and effect. We so often are drawn to the effects of things. And it's the effects that get our blood boiling or racing or get our heart racing or get us excited or get us mad. It's the effects. We want to look at the cause, though. Let us look at the cause. And cause is what creates or produces the effect. It's like going to the well and trying to get enough water to water the garden. I'm going to a well. I'm not turning on a faucet. I'm going to the well. But every time I go to the well, I bring the water back, I realize it's just not enough. It's not what I want. It's what I can do, but it's not what I want. And then I stop. And here's where the pause comes in. Pause and find the cause. I look down and I realize, my bucket has holes that start about 4 inches from the top and go all the way around. So I'm losing water the whole time. I thought I was just spilling it. But no, I'm losing it. So I'm not able to bring to my garden what I really could if I had noticed that before. And so what do? We can keep running back and forth with that half-filled bucket, or we can get a new one. That's what we do, though. That's what we can do with consciousness. We can see what the effect is that we're not really happy with and go to the cause. What is the cause of this? If you just can't get along with the neighbor, take a break. Take a break. Don't keep spying out the window to see what they're doing. Don't run to the door when you hear their vehicles driving up. Take a break. And then we ask ourselves, what is it that I do want besides them leaving? Now, what is it I do want? I want to feel comfortable. Well, how can I feel more comfortable with those neighbors? Well, how about if I don't pay attention to what they're doing, try and control what they're doing, and just pay attention to what I'm doing? You know, that's a start. We'll all look at what we know and do with it what we choose. But what we have to remember is that we live in a field of infinite possibility. So it's not about one choice, but it is about making choices. It's about making choices that support us and therefore support the world around us. and therefore support the world in front of us, therefore support all that is. When we make choices that are good for us and good for others, it's like that, filling the bucket to the top and getting that and receiving what it is that you're desiring because you've taken the steps to do it. Yeah, you've taken the steps to do it. I have in my home, I have to tell you this story really quick. It's just so funny. Not. In my home, I have a dishwasher and what do you call those? Garbage disposal. Well, isn't this funny? I have a new garbage disposal, and the backflow on the dishwasher goes all over. And I had people looking at it, and I had, was just told, well, you're going to have to tear all this out. Long story short, I tolerated it for 5 years after three people had visited to fix it for me. Tolerated it. And I just thought, well, I guess that's the way it is. You wrap a towel around it, you drop it into the sink so the water will run in there. And then I heard of someone else who had basically the same problem. Isn't that interesting? See, I had accepted that's the way it was for those years. But when I heard about it, and I might have heard about that along the 5 years, but I wasn't open to it, I guess. Well, mine's a very unique situation, They've already tried. Those kinds of things stopped me from actually being open. Just 2 weeks ago, I heard about another person who was having that experience. Oh my goodness, mine is fixed now. Simple little thing. Here's the thing. We don't want to beat ourselves up for it when we discover something like that. 5 years. How many? I had 3 repairs. No, we can go that route too. We can go that route, or we can go to that. This is a miracle. This is an everyday miracle because we are surrounded by miracles every single day, or at least what I would call miracles, which is out of the ordinary, something I would not have expected to experience, but it happens because we're open to it. What a blessing. We not only can accept and create those for ourselves by our shift in our thinking from effect to cause. What is the cause? The cause comes from the consciousness. So what is the cause? I was holding that thing that was stopping the water. I was holding it in place by that idea. It's already been checked. That's the way it is. I'm not going to go the expense of that other big issue. How many times do we stop the flow by holding on to what we don't want? We say what we want, but our attention and our words and our focus go to what it is we don't want, and we keep justifying why we don't have what we want because it's just such a hassle. And then we are all waking up in different ways. We're being activated by Spirit all the time. And when we catch that activation because we're ready for it, it's just there for us, and it's so simple and it's effortless to receive. The Spirit of God is so effortless to receive the experience of because that is that which is within us. It's part of what we are. So that was a case of my consciousness absolutely reflecting, my experience reflecting what my consciousness was for those years. It's not fixable. I'm not going to pay to have more people look at it. So what we want to know is that the power of God operates through the energy of our thought, that our thoughts emit. And this invisible force is in the quantum fields what makes things manifest through our thoughts, through our thinking, through our beliefs. Not just every thought is manifest for us, but it's that which we give time, attention, and feeling to. Yeah. So by working on the cause, we will certainly change an effect. We will. It just can't happen it can't be otherwise, because the cause, it's like, it's the law, and we use the law. We can't change the law, and everyone uses the law, and we can use it any way we want, but we'll still have an effect from it. So we want to we've come here, I believe, to reflect on our lives, reflect to a time in with humanity, to reflect on what we've created, to reflect on what we've thought was necessary. And I just had a wonderful, very tiny bit of a conversation with a dear friend today, and I do believe that much of what we see out there is a product of greed. But I'm not going to talk about greed today. I'm going to talk about what it is we would like to see. You see, that's my idea. What if I'm wrong? Well, I'll look for all the evidence to prove that I'm right. Now, let's just breathe. We're looking for let us look for what it is we want to experience, and we want to create, and we want to be part of, that we want to contribute to. And when we're doing that, we must look at what the idea is behind it. Is the idea one that if it's possible it could work, but it's not really probable? You know? Or is it, it's going to work because it always works? We have to be real with ourselves. We have to be real with what we're experiencing too, and we have to be real about what we feel. And if we feel negative about something, it's fine. It's a natural human thing. But don't we want to move through it to what the positive is? Because I believe, in my own experience with negative thinking, is it always brings me suffering. And when I'm suffering, this is the old days. That was the old days. When I was suffering, I wanted company. Yeah. I didn't necessarily want to make you suffer, but I wanted people who would agree, with the suffering I was experiencing. Now we're looking at a possibility and the probability of moving beyond everything that humanity has created that is not working, in a way that will take these steps. And there are people out there working so diligently and with such passion, and giving their lives to causes that are wonderful and important and real and sacred. And we get to choose, if that resonates with our heart, to give that which is ours to give to that, to give to our world, to give to humanity, to give to Mother Earth. I love there's a story about two Zen monks who were crossing a river. They had walked for a long way, walked and got to this very wide river, and the two monks knew they could cross it. And so before they started, though, they heard a rustling in the bush by them. They looked over, and here was a young woman, and they asked her if she needed help, and she said, "Yes, I need to get across the river, but I'm afraid." Well, one monk says, "Come." She walked over to him. He picked her up, put her on his shoulders, and proceeded to cross the river with the second monk. Well, they got across the river, and the second monk was furious. He was just furious, but he didn't say anything. But he was furious because it was forbidden. It's forbidden for these Zen monks to touch a woman. But he was mad. He was so mad that he just could hardly contain it. So they walked on for a few more miles, and finally they arrived at the sanctuary. And just as they were getting ready to enter the sanctuary, the monk who was so angry turned to the other one, the one who had carried the woman across the river on his shoulders. And he said to him, I am telling Master what you have done. What you've done was forbidden. The other monk said, "Oh my goodness," they'd been walking together for miles. And he said, "What is it I've done? What is it you're going to tell the Master?" He said, and angry monk said, I'm going to tell the master that you carried that woman across the river. That was forbidden. And the monk who had done that turned to him with such compassion. And he said, oh, you are right. You are right. I did carry her across the river. And on the other bank, I put her down. But you are still carrying her. We want to be very aware of what we are carrying. Old anger, old disappointments, fears, whatever, regrets, whatever it is we're carrying, because it will weigh us down. It will affect us, guilt. It's all a burden to us. And it will be the cause of how we will react to life. It will be the cause of how we accept good or not accept our good in life. It will be the cause of what we feel we have to offer life. It will be the cause of what we think we can't give to life or become in this lifetime. We must know ourselves. Aren't we called to know ourselves? That is as holy a relationship as any other relationship you will have, to know thyself. And to know ourselves, we just look at how we're living day to day. We look at what our expectations are day to day. We look at what our fear level is day to day. We look at in the now what it is we're experiencing. And as those challenges come at us, if we take the pause and allow ourselves to find the cause in that moment, if we can, or just give ourselves a breather, we will become more of that which we have come here to be, to express as. We will just become more. We're not ever going to become something we're not. We are going to expose and express what we are. Expose our grace to the world. Expose our goodness to the world. Expose our kindness to the world. Expose our creativity to the world. Our loving givingness to the world. That's what we're here to do. But we have to pause and look at what the cause is behind it. Because even the good things we do, if we're doing them let's explore that too. Let's look at why we're doing good things for people. Sometimes we do good things so that others will, just because we feel that that's the thing we want to do for others. Sometimes we do good things so that we'll get something back. And the something back might just be appreciation, not just appreciation. Appreciation is really big. Acknowledgement, really big. And what happens when we don't get what we need out here? Well, a number of things can happen. Resentment can build up. Or it can be the idea that I knew I wasn't worthy of that. Or it's never enough. I can never give enough. Whatever we're telling ourselves, because the world out here that we're looking at, the world we're dealing with, is not the way the world is. It's the way we see it and identify it as. And it's a really simple concept. It's kind of like walking into a room or walking past someone you know, and they don't acknowledge you. Well, I wonder what I said. I wonder what I did. I wonder what's wrong with her or him. Well, I never did like them anyway. We can make up all this stuff, but the world is as we see it. That person, how would I know? How would I know what they're thinking and feeling? But that's not the real answer for me. The answer is, why do I think I have to know? Because all I have to know is, do I have it in me to see the God in him or her? Do I have it in me to accept that I can still choose to be in joy as an expression of love, regardless of what's going on out here, that may or may not have anything to do with us. We are at that, we are a choice all the time. And we have the opportunity to give to a world that works better for everyone by choosing that high road. I love that. I love the idea of the high road where we're true to ourselves. First, we're true to ourselves, and giving to ourselves, by forgiving ourselves for things and by letting go of regrets. It's not like we're putting ourselves ahead of everyone else. What we're doing is putting ourselves up there with everyone else. Everyone else that we would forgive or approve of or appreciate. We need to move ourselves out there so that we recognize we're all part of it. We're all part of this tapestry. We're all part of this woven life created of love. Martha Beck in her book says, getting out of hell, and hell means the false beliefs we have. That's what hell is. That's our meaning of hell. It means replacing rigid convictions with curious openness to your own sense of truth. Not a truth I'm telling, not a truth you read about, but when you've had the experience of life, of reading and hearing and speaking and all the things it takes us through, we choose what resonates with us as our own truth. And then be true to ourselves. That's the richness of life that we bring to our planet, being authentic and true to ourselves. We will be the expression of God we are meant to be on earth. Ernest Holmes says that, tells us that our hidden beliefs and our deeply held convictions inevitably reflect in our experience and our environment. Our beliefs and our deeply hidden convictions. That's all we need to look at. And that's everything we should be looking at. I have so much excitement within me, and I don't know a better word to use, but it's a trust. It's trust and it's faith that we are moving into something that it's like, one of the influencers put on the internet that it's like Mother Earth sent us to our rooms for a timeout so that we could do better. That's what this pandemic and all this stuff is. I mean, that was just a cute way of saying, take a pause and look at what we've created, we as humanity, and what do we want to create out of it? Beyond it. What do we want to? And I feel so clear, I feel so sure that we're all doing this. And then when we come together, like today, we are enriched by the energy of each other. We stand under the shelter of each other. We get to see each other. We don't have to see what looks familiar to us because of we've known that person, or we met that person, or we want to meet this person. Everyone should be familiar to us as a child of God. Everyone. So here's to the bridge builders, the hand holders, the light bringers, whose extraordinary souls wrapped in ordinary lives, who quietly weave threads of humanity into an inhuman world. They are the unsung heroes in a world at war with itself. They are the whisperers of hope that peace is possible. Look for them in this present darkness. Light your candle from their flame and then go. Build bridges, hold hands, create a prayer circle, but do as your heart guides you. Bring light to this dark and desperate world. Be the hero you are looking for. Peace is possible because it begins and exists within us. This was also written by L.R. Nost. Whether we're the bridge builders, whether we supply the equipment for that, the materials, the money, or the prayer, We're all a part of it. We're all a part of this. And so I invite you now, if you will join me. And again, allowing the breath of life to just move through yourself, through your body easily and effortlessly. We're not here to work hard. We are here to be. And so for this day, for this coming together, for the beautiful and wonderful spirit within each one of us, those that were joining us in the sanctuary, those who join us online, those who join us heart to heart, across the world, across all boundaries, and beyond all limitations. May we say, I see you, who you really are. You are made in the image and likeness of God. And I recognize you as I recognize myself. May the peace within us expand and express in our world as we move forward to do that which we choose to do from the very calling of our soul. For it is to our soul that we are true. Under the shelter of each other, we experience the call for love, and we answer the call of love. Let us go forward as a blessing, and together we say, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Just kidding. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes to see there is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost lost my way. When I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. It's a love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
There is only love, and if we close our eyes and take a deep breath, we can feel it surrounding us and infilling us. Thank you so much for that song. So we've come to that time in our service where we get to put into practice the law of circulation. So if you're online, you can go to our website if you choose to donate. For those of us here in our sanctuary, there's a basket on the back table. And what I'd like to ask you to do now is to take your tithe, your gift, your offering, not only in your hand, but in your heart, and join with me in this prayer of spiritual giving and receiving. I live in a universe of abundance as I freely and joyfully give. I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me abundantly. And so it is. So I want to thank all the people online who joined us this week. We love you and we bless you, and we hope that you come back to see us again. Thank you.